Hi there, I'm Amy Riles with Honestly Horses, and today I wanted to talk to you about what it looks like when a horse is ready for you to get on its back and how I go about seeing if they're in that place. So I don't get on a horse until I feel like they're mentally prepared for that. I take my time getting to that point. Anytime I meet a new horse, even if the horse is supposed to be well trained, there's a process I go through to make sure that that horse is willingly offering its back to me for me to climb up on. And I think that just shows respect for the horse, first of all, but also it keeps me safe. So I thought I'd just kind of walk through what that looks like. I have Bella. She's a 6-year-old Welsh pony cross that I've had here for about a month and a week or so now, and she's a restart. She was supposedly started as a younger horse. I don't see a whole lot of signs that that actually happened, but what I have found is that she has been super willing to do anything I ask her to do, and she's been very kind. She had a lot of anxiety over a person being above her head, and she's absolutely terrified of anything that looks like a whip, a stick, a rope swinging toward her, anything like that. So I don't think that the person who started her originally treated her with the greatest deal of kindness. She doesn't say that that was the case, but I could be wrong. Sometimes horses just develop things because they haven't really been messed with much and have just been sitting a while. Nonetheless, she's coming around really well, and I just got on her yesterday and actually rode her out a little bit with a good ground person. I also highly encourage that, and I will show what that looks like next. But I thought I would show what it looks like when I get ready to step over a horse and put my weight in the saddle and what I expect from them. So let's just start there. This is Bella. I've never actually asked her to step up to this mounting block out here. I usually start this by fencing. I get up on top of a rail above the horse's head and I ask them to step up underneath me. And when we can do that really well, then we move on to me putting weight in the saddle and actually leaning over them and climbing up over. I moved my mounting block into the round pen for demonstration purposes. Usually it sits on the outside because I get on and ride my court and my obstacle course and all of that out there. Back up. So I'm just going to start by making sure that I have her attention. Step around. Good girl. And step up. This is just like the fence. Step up. Whoa. If the butt swings away from me, like it just did, she took a step outward. That's not what I'm looking for, so I'm just going to ask again. I'm going to ask her to step around. Swing that butt around first, all the way. Some horses, you can use a flag to do this, or a small dressage whip, or something that you can direct that hind end around. This horse is uber sensitive to those things. She does not need that at this point. So I love this right here, this just sweet, soft horse. Now I'm going to ask her to step up here again, put that saddle right up underneath me. Step up. Good and low. Good girl. And then I give her lots of praise and reward right here. What I'm looking for at this point is a horse that has soft ears, soft eye, is relaxed in their neck. I don't want that neck up and stiff. I don't want my horse to feel rigid right now. I want her to relax. Right now she's not really relaxed, so I would venture to say if I make some noise here or I act like I'm going to do something, see the head come up and the ear go back? That's tension, that's nervousness. That's not the horse I want to get on right now. That puts me at risk of getting hurt. I always use a mounting block to get on a horse. I do not mount from the ground the first few times. I can mount from the ground, yes, It's better for my saddle tree. It's better for the horse's back. It's much more comfortable on the horse, especially if you're a little bit heavier rider and you have the capacity to pull on that as you get up. That can be very uncomfortable for a horse and can cause a blow up just as you're getting on. That's incredibly dangerous. Getting on and getting off are the two most vulnerable positions we put ourselves in as a rider. And by putting myself up here, I give myself an advantage. I have a little better balance up here, and I can step up and over very easily. See how she raises her head? She's not really blinking. She's stiff and rigid. That's because I'm just tapping back here. I'm causing some nervousness. So I know this horse is not ready for me to get on. I am going to get on her today, but I'm not going to get on her when this is happening. I want to wait to get on her when I have a relaxed horse. See the head come up, the nervousness, that tension. That's not the moment I throw a leg over this horse, because what happens when we do that and we rush them is we can cause a whole lot of trauma for a horse. Then somebody gets bucked off, and you've got to go back to square one when that happens. You can't put a horse into trauma mode and then not address that, and it can create a world of issues down the road. So as I stand here and I'm just kind of waiting on her to relax, drop her head, good girl. Good girl. When I put pressure up there and I get resistance, I'm just gonna help her relax a little bit. I might reach down here and pet her neck and her shoulder. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Very good girl. Good pony. As soon as I add some weight to that, I get resistance. I'm just going to wait till she relaxes again, and then when she relaxes, I'm going to give her a reward. Good girl. Good girl. Nice job. Good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Good girl. She hasn't actually taken a breath since I started. She's breathing very shallow. She's going to move right there, so I'm going to back her up and I'm going to reposition her. Good girl. Step up. Step up. Nice job. Step up. Step up. Step up. Good girl. Very nice. Very nice, Bella. Step up one more foot. One more step. Good. Whoa. Good job, pony. Good job. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Very good girl. Easy does it. Easy does it. Good girl. Nice. I'm being very careful to weight my saddle equally. I'm not pulling my stirrup to her left. When I put my weight in this saddle, I'm actually pushing some of my weight that direction as opposed to pulling or stepping into that from her left side. I'm using my body to kind of stabilize that saddle in the middle of my horse's back. So I'm not pulling her sideways. She stepped that time to step under me. That's an excellent position. I love that because she knew she needed to balance that front foot to get nice and square, and that's perfect. Good girl. 9 times out of 10 when things go wrong getting on, it's because we didn't set the horse up for success. We rushed things. I never force a horse to stand still. I'm not asking this horse to be still. I've done a lot of work prior to this to help her learn how to stand still underneath me while I get up here. I've done a lot of work, and how I do that is when she goes to move, I just give her feet direction and I put her to motion. Eventually, it doesn't take very long, usually about 30 minutes, they start going, you know what, every time I move while you're up here doing this, I have to work. So I think I'd like to just stand still. How's that sound? And then you say, oh yeah, I'd love for you to stand still. And it became their idea. It wasn't your idea. Although you definitely can encourage it. Very good girl. Easy does it. Easy does it. Good girl. Relax. Relax. Good job. Good job. Good job, Pony. Good job, Pony. Good girl, Bella. Starting to get a softer eye and a little more relaxed face. She's lowering that head. Oh, such a good girl. Such a good pony. Good girl. Good girl. That's very nice. Very nice job. Oh, and a little bit of licking and chewing. Good girl. Nice. Nice. Nice job. Hi. Hi there. That's a good girl. Yeah, that's very nice. Very nice. So that's what that looks like. That's what it looks like when I go to get on any horse, even if it's a horse that I know is already trained to ride. I introduce getting on just like that because I don't want to miss something. A lot of times I see people miss signs, and I can tell you when the horse is not going to be okay with a rider getting on prior to the rider actually getting on. And those are the ones you watch and you think, yeah, I wouldn't have thrown a leg over that horse. I just wanted to help you out a little bit, see if that gives you some insight into what it looks like when a horse gets ready for you to throw that leg over. If you notice the change in her demeanor there, her head was low, her ears were moving again, she was blinking, she was licking her lips.